Hi, everyone. I'm Reverend Nikki Happy, the Director of Marketing Engagement at One Spirit. And I am sitting here today with Barry Johnson and Cliff Kayser. We are here to discuss their upcoming workshop, Spirit in the Polarity, Duality, Interdependence, and Oneness. Welcome to the both of you. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's great to be here, Nikki.
Thanks for inviting us, Nikki.
Sure. And so just to start out, can you share a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. I've been working on polarities since 1975 and keep learning every time I do it with one person or another, and I'm glad for the opportunity here.
I started studying Taoist philosophy back in about 1985, and that, through circumstance, led me to meeting Barry Johnson as part of my work in organization development and executive coaching. And it wasn't too long after that I joined Polarity Partnerships as the Vice President of Coaching and Mastery Programs. And so here we are.
Barry, can you define for us what is polarity?
Yes, polarities are interdependent pairs that show up in life that are as basic as inhaling and exhaling, or activity and rest, and as fundamental in our faith traditions as justice and mercy, and law and grace, and in relationships between transactional and transformational. In all of those, what is important is that we empower both poles in order to be effective over time, because inhaling needs exhaling, activity needs rest, and justice needs mercy.
Beautiful.
I'd also like to share a polarity map with you, just so you understand a little bit about, what is a polarity, how do they work? This is a map that we just build out for being and doing. You can see the upside of being inner peace. If we over focus on being to the neglect of doing, then we have an unclear understanding. And you can see here, if this is the problem, the solution is it understanding. That's what we accomplish in the doing pole, is getting a clear understanding. But if we only did doing without being, it might create some inner turmoil, which could be something that would perhaps even contribute to discord. And so the being pole offers some relief from that tension. So you can see in this leveraged loop, we're getting the benefits of the two upsides of being and doing, and we're minimizing to the degree that we can the downside limitations. And so the greater purpose here is One Spirit. That's what we're seeking to help to support you in tapping into through our 4 sessions in this course. And we're real excited to use this as a frame for one of the many polarities we're going to be exploring.
And so what inspired you to create this workshop for One Spirit?
Well, there was a couple of things. First of all, the 2 areas where I think polarity thinking is most useful if we're trying to make a difference in the world is in dealing with resistance to change at the individual or the corporate or even the national level, and also dealing with polarization at all 3 levels of system. But what's exciting about working with One Spirit actually shows up in the latter part of my book. The first 33 chapters of the recent book and covers this the notion of leveraging polarities in order to make a difference in dealing with polarization and resistance to change. But the last chapter in the book talks about the limitations of polarity thinking, where we get into an entire another polarity. And that is the polarity of the world of what Martin Buber calls I-it and I-thou. So the first 33 chapters are about what we can do in the world, the action side of it, how we can make the world a better world. And the final chapter is about the world of I-thou, in which differentiation disappears, action on behalf of anyone or anything disappears, and we find ourselves in One Spirit, or one unity. And so I'd just like to quote one paragraph from that chapter, and then we'll turn this over to Cliff. We make a difference in order to affirm our universal unity and to live the reality that we are all unconditionally loved. This is very different than making a difference in order to create a unity with others or in order to make ourselves or our enemy more lovable. It brings peace to our struggle with war. It brings joy to our struggle with suffering. It brings love to our struggle with our cruelty to ourselves and others. It brings hope to our struggle with despair. Our efforts to make a difference are one pole of a polarity that is interdependent with and supported by the pole of universal unity and unconditional love. The richness, the energy, and the wonder of life and death is in the oscillation between these poles. I'd like to have Cliff share with you an outline for the course.
Great. I'm just going to share a screen very quickly and run through the high-level course syllabus. In sessions 1 and 2, we're going to go through the basics of polarity thinking and how polarities work. We're going to do that using our 5-step SMALL process. SMALL stands for seeing, mapping, assessing, learning, and leveraging. And we'll be focusing on individual applications of these 5 steps in sessions 1 and 2. And then we'll be bridging from the individual applications to the organization and societal level applications. And also we'll introduce you to our Polarity resource portal and give you access to that portal, which will support your learning after the course. And we're real excited to be able to provide you with that rich resource to continue your learning beyond the 4 sessions.